So a few weeks ago, I uploaded this animation to my YouTube channel, and in this tutorial series, I'm going to be showing you how to make it. So this is actually going to be part one of making this chocolate guy here, what you see. And it's a loopable animation. The only thing I'm not going to be showing you to do in this 6-part tutorial series is just these little dangly things, like some of the simulation and a few other little details. I will put those on my Patreon as a bonus kind of content, but you can see here it is loopable and it looks pretty cool. So this is actually the blend file here that we're going to be ending up with when we're done with this tutorial, but pretty much the exact same thing. Starting with an empty scene in Blender and finishing with this result. So if this is something you want to learn, keep watching, and I will be putting the blend files and eventually some of the bonus content on my Patreon when I'm done uploading these 6-part tutorials over the next week. So yeah, let's get right into it, have a ton of fun, and enjoy. So go ahead, open up a new scene in Blender, and let's just get rid of the default objects. We're gonna just delete them. And let's go Shift A, let's go to our mesh options, and let's add in a circle. I think it's a good way to get started. Now let's go to the circle parameters here, whatever. Let's leave it at 32 for now, and we'll tab into edit mode. Now at the moment, if we were to kind of add these ridges, we probably won't have enough. So you don't have to follow this, I'll just quickly explain. So if I want checker deselect and I scale that in, that's gonna be a very I don't know, I just don't feel like there's enough detail in that. So what we're gonna do is in edit mode, we're just gonna press A to select everything. We're gonna right click and we're gonna go subdivide. We do have our vertex option enabled. So with one subdivision like that, what we can do now is we can press F3. And if you just type in checker and click on checker deselect, it's gonna select every second one of these verts. So this works if you have an even number of verts, which we do by default. Now that we have those active, let's press S to scale. So just S to scale. And then we're going to press A to select everything. We're going to go to our front orthographic view. We're going to go E to extrude, and then press Z to restrain that to the Z axis. I'm going to go up about this much. So then we're going to go Shift A, and holding those two in, we're going to just left click on one of these bottom edges. That's just going to loop select that. And here's where things get a little bit tricky. So just bear with me. We're going to go E to extrude and S to scale. And then we're going to go Shift Alt S, and we're just going to round those out. And then we're going to come up here, we're going to go Control R, and you're going to see the yellow line. So Control R for the loop cut, just left click once and pull down to the very bottom here. And then you can go S and just scale that slightly. And that's looking pretty good. So what we need to do now is Shift Alt, left click on this edge down here to loop selected, then go Shift Alt S and just slightly round that out. And what we're doing here is we're just gradually tapering that sharp area into a more rounder area, which could be a little bit tricky, but just try it out. We're then going to go Control R again, add in another loop, left click once and just slide down to about here. Control R, left click and slide up, add in a loop here. And then we're going to go Shift Alt, click on this edge to loop selected, E to extrude, S to scale. I'm going to scale this out about that much. And we're going to go G, Z, and just move it up a little bit to create this lip. And then we're going to go Shift Alt S and just slightly round that out, but not too much. We still want some of that detail preserved there. And we're also going to go Control R, click once, slide, Control R over here, click once and slide. And now we have that a little bit more defined. Let's tab out of the edit mode, right click, and let's go Shade Smooth. Get rid of that and give it a bevel. Put the angle up a little bit. Maybe something like about 36, and let's give that a subdivision surface modifier on top of that. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. Okay, so let's just quickly tab back in, Shift Alt, click on this edge here, E to extrude, S to scale, and just bring that in, and then go F just to fill that face, and then tab back out there. So now that we have our nice looking little chocolate wrapper basket thing done, let's make the actual chocolate component inside. Okay, so within our object mode, we're going to go Shift A and let's add in a UV sphere. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to our segment count under the UV sphere options here, and let's make it something like 24. I think 24 would be a good number, and let's just bring this number here down to 12 for now. Let's drop that down, and we're going to go G, Z, and just move it up till it's sitting somewhere here. Let's tab into edit mode and go into our wireframe. Let's enable our proportional editing, and let's just left click and drag and just select these bottom verts here like that. We're then going to go S and we're going to scale it, and we're going to roll our proportional fall off. So rolling the middle mouse button to control the amount of fall off, and let's just take it about that much, make it a bit more of an acorn shape. We're going to go S, Z, and we're just going to flatten that bottom like this, and then G, Z, and just moving it up. So creating kind of like this jellyfish bell kind of shape, almost like that. Right, and then we're going to go G, Z, and just move it down into the chocolate a little bit more. Don't worry if it sticks out a little bit in some places. We can always deal with that later. But what we want to do then is we want to go to our edge select option here. And let's turn off our proportional editing up here for now. Deselect everything, and we're going to go Shift Alt, and we're just going to left click, and we're going to select every second one of these, like so. These just skip an edge. So we're holding in Shift and Alt, working our way around, like so. And because we have 24, it should be even. And what we're going to do then is we're going to go press C. So if you press C on your keyboard, and then you click with your middle mouse button, and you're going to just click here and erase these ones here. We don't want them selected. And let's just go into wireframe. So Z, and then go into wireframe. Go into your front orthographic view, and then once again press C. And now you have the select tool. You can roll your middle mouse button to make it a bit bigger. Hold in the middle mouse button by clicking it, and then just drag across here to deselect the bottom. So we only have these edges active. Go back into solid, and we're going to go Alt S to scale in along the normal. So Alt S, not just S. So Alt S, scaling it in these normals like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our vertex select option, select the very top vertex, and then enable our proportional editing again. And we're going to go R, Z, and we're going to rotate it around the Z like this. And we're going to control our proportional fall off by rolling the middle mouse button till we get a fall off like that. So we have this nice twirl in here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go to our modifiers, give it a subdivision surface modifier, tab back out, and then right click, and then go shade smooth. Now we have our chocolate. In fact, if you want it to be a little bit more defined, you can add in a bevel and drag that bevel above the subdivision surface. And then all you got to do is play around with this angle a little bit. So essentially, anything that is at a sharper angle here is going to get the bevel where other flatter areas are not. And that's just going to give it a bit more definition. You can also increase the segment count here if that helps, but make sure you get that just right. So I think something like about 35 looks like it works really well here. You could always go in here and just tweak the geometry a little bit to make things work, but just try it out. So you get the basic idea here. We're just making this kind of swirly chocolate that we can always edit a little bit later, but that is pretty much it. In fact, the only thing I may do is just bring it up a little bit here like that, just make it a little bit more of a sticking out kind of thing, and just scale it here by selecting these edges. But yeah, okay, I think that's enough. That looks great. So we have our wrapper, we have our chocolate. What we're going to do next is we're going to model our mouth and our eyes. So the mouth is the more tricky bit, but I'll show you step by step how we do it. And hopefully you guys can follow along. So to make the mouth, we're going to start off with a curve. So we're going to go Shift A, and we're going to go to our curve options instead of our mesh, and let's get a circle. I'm going to take that circle and we're going to go R, X90, and we're going to hit enter. We're going to go G, Y, and we're going to move it forward like so. We're going to tab into the edit mode. You can see we have the 4 points here. Now keep in mind, this is not a mesh, this is a curve. So in edit mode here, we're going to select the top vert, and we're going to go G, Z, we're going to bring it down like that. We're going to select the bottom one, and we're going to go G, Z, and move it up like that. Now you can see we're making a mouth here, obviously. So you want to also make sure you select all of this and you go G, Z, and you just move it up. We want that origin point, that little orange dot you see right there. We want that to be in the middle roughly. Okay, so just make sure you keep that in mind. Once you're done, you can maybe, in fact, let's just quickly select just these two on the end here, and let's just take them both down like this at the same time. So holding in Shift, select them both and go G, Z, and just bring them down. And then you can maybe even go to your individual origins under the transforms, and then go S and scale them both down, just to define that edge a little bit more. Set your pivot transform back to median, and let's go back into the object mode. You now have a mouth. Let's go to the curve settings over here, the properties, and let's set down the resolution a little bit. Let's go down to 5. In fact, let's maybe 7 is okay. And let's go to the geometry, and under here, let's go and find the bevel. So the bevel's over here. And now if you give it some depth, there we have the lips. Okay, so pretty simple. You can make that however thick you want. I'm gonna go with something like this. And on top of that, let's go to our modifiers and let's give that a subdivision surface modifier. Perfect. Now we can go to our right orthographic view. We're gonna go G and move it in, R to rotate it slightly, go back into the front view and then go S to scale it down, and G, Z, move it down and place it about here. We now need to go into our bottom orthographic by going Control 7 or Command 7 on the number pad. G, Y, and move it back a little bit. And now we're going to tab into edit mode. And we just want to select these middle points here on the handles. We want to go G, Y, and move them out in the Y a little bit to give it some curvature. Tab back into object mode and then go G, Y, and move it back like that. We want to make sure it's nice and even. So now it is curved like that a little bit. Now, how do we make the inside part? Okay, I'm going to show you. So we're going to go Shift D to duplicate this mouth and right click to let go, but we still have that duplicate active. We're then going to go to the modifier. Let's get rid of that subdiv. Let's go over to the curve settings and let's just go to that depth on the bevel and let's make it 0. Okay, we just want it to be a curve. You can see we have the curve here. We're going to go F3 on our keyboard and let's type in here convert. And we're going to go convert mesh. We're going to convert it to a mesh. Now if we tab into edit mode, we can see we have all of these verts. So now this is just like a traditional mesh object. So we're going to press A to select everything and we're going to go Control F or Command F. We're going to go grid fill and then come here to the grid settings and mess around with it. So what we want here is we want to mess around with the span and also the offset till we get something that has enough topology for us to work with, but it's also even. So this might vary depending on how you have things set up. But here you can see I've gotten 6 at the top and 5 at the bottom. And what this has given me now is even topology. So you can see this is exactly the same on this side as it is on that side, which is exactly what I want. And I've got a bit of topology to work with. It's not too low poly. Okay, so that's something like that is fine. Just the main thing is that you have some topology to work with and that both sides are even. That's the main thing you want to keep in mind. Okay, so once you have that done, you should have this shape here. And you can also just go G, Y in edit mode and just move all of that forward a little bit as well. You'll understand why we're doing this later, but let's just tab out, back into object mode. With this object, right click and go shade smooth. So now we have the inner part of the mouth. And how all of that works is really going to make more sense once we get into the actual rigging. And I'm going to show you how we make all of this work together with hooks and bones and weights and things like that. But now let's do the eyes. We're going to go Shift A. Let's quickly add in the UV spheres. Just leave them as they are. S to scale down, G to move it over to the side. You can go into your right orthographic view and just move it forward. Just placing it here and then right click, go shade smooth. And you guys already know the rest. We're just going to go and give it a mirror, click on the little eyedropper, select the body as a reference, and there we go. That's how simple it is. Very easy thing to do here with the eyes. I'm going to probably place mine more out here. It's a little bit cuter. Okay, that looks great for now. I'm going to leave it at that. I think what we could safely do next is probably adding our legs. So let's just press A to select everything. We're going to go G, Z, and let's move it up to about here. So you can see, I mean, you can look at the grid here in the 3D space and kind of get an idea of what sort of scale we're dealing with here. So, you know, you don't want to go too high above this floor over here. Maybe something like that. So once you have it placed, what we can do is we can go Shift A, go to our mesh options, add in a cylinder. And let's go to the verts on this and let's make it something like 12. We don't need too many. And then drop it down, S to scale that cylinder, and then G to move it over to the right side, or I suppose our right side, but that would be the left side of the character. And in our front orthographic view with that little shrunken cylinder up here to the side, we're going to tab into edit mode. You can see we have our little orange dot there. That's our origin point, which is exactly where we want it. We're just going to select these bottom verts. We're going to go G, Z, and just drag them down to about here. S to scale them slightly, and then select the top ones, and then S to scale them down slightly. We're now going to go Control R and add in a loop. Just click once, and you can slide it down slightly, and then left click again to add it in. Go to your right view, and then go G, and just slightly move it forward. Select these bottom verts, rotate them slightly, and just move them down and forward a bit. And what we have here is just this kind of rough leg forming. We can also go to our modifiers, give this a mirror modifier, click on the little eyedropper and select the body as a reference. Tab back out, right click and go shade smooth. So now we have the beginning of our character's little legs here. I might just bring them in on the X a little bit, just so they're a bit closer. Now, the thing here that I did with my original one is I actually modeled these boots here and then I UV unwrapped them. I took them into Substance Painter and I painted on a lot of these kind of details here, as you can see. But we're not going to get that technical with this tutorial. So we're just going to make a much simpler version of those shoes. So let's just go Shift A, let's add in a cube, S to scale it down to about the size a foot would be, and then G, move it over to this side here. tab into edit mode, and let's just raise these bottom verts to touch the floor here. And let's go to our right orthographic view. Let's just select these verts here and then go G, Y and move them forward a bit. And then simply we're going to go Control R to add in a loop in the middle. Double click to add it in. And then go to your face select the top face up here. E to extrude it up. S to scale it down slightly. E to extrude, S to scale. And then E to extrude down, like so. And then while you still have that face active, go X and delete that face. And now we're just going to give it a subdivision surface modifier, and that'll kind of smooth things out for us. We're now going to go Control R, add in a loop here, just click it in, move it down, add in one over here, and just slide it back. And you can also add in an edge here, slide it up, scale it a little bit, just to kind of make this rough shoe shape here. Once you're happy, tab out, move it forward a bit if you have to, like that. But once you have that sort of very simple shoe, you can go to your subdiv modifier, right click, and then just apply that. Now if you tab in, that has been applied. And that is a very simple way to make a shoe. At this point, I would also go Shift Alt with my edge select, just click on this edge to loop selected, Control B or Command B to make a bevel, roll your middle mouse button up once to add an extra segment, and then just left click, Control minus or Control Command minus, and then you have just the edge active here. You can go Alt S and scale it out for a little rim or in, just to make a little parting like that. And with that edge active, you can even go Control B and make another bevel to define that even more. Control R, slide in some more edges if you wish. Completely up to you how you want to do this. I'm not going to spend too much time on modeling a shoe, but you guys kind of get the basic gist of it. Very easy, and you can once again go give it another subdivision surface modifier. Now it's even nicer. You can right click and go shade smooth. And there you have a shoe, as easy as it's going to get. And let's give that a mirror modifier. Click on the little eyedropper and select the body as a reference. And there he has two nice little shoes. With the scale here, you can make them a little bit bigger. In fact, I think I'm going to do that with mine. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger, and I'm probably just going to go into edit mode and just flatten out the sole at the bottom just a little bit, like so. And I'm going to select my legs. I'm going to tab into edit mode, select these bottom bits, just drag them up, place them in the shoe there, and move the knee up a little bit. And now that I have that, I'm going to go Control R and roll in 3 edges over here, and I'm going to go Alt S and just scale them in a little bit. I'm going to do the same down here. Control R, roll in 3 loop cuts, click them in, Alt S, and just scale in a little bit, like so, and just scale it. And now we kind of have this little bit of a protrusion here, which is the knee. And we're going to go to our front view, and let's just go to our face select option and go C for the C select tool, and just select these front faces. E to extrude, S to scale, just to make the kneecap, and then G to move it forward. And there we have a simple knee, just like that. But you don't have to do that little extra detail. That's just optional. I like to do that just to kind of make it look like there's a knee there. You can even press A to select all of it, and you can go to your smooth tool and just slightly smooth it out a bit, like that. Pretty easy. And if you want to, you can just select the faces on the end here and just delete those faces. You don't need them at all. You just have to have this leg cylinder here and your boots, and that's pretty much it. Now we may actually just select everything except the legs here and just move it down a little bit, I think, like that. And then select the legs, just move them down. Completely up to you how you want to go about that, but the proportions are really something you have to figure out, get something that you like. But that overall looks pretty good, what we have here so far. So make sure that you go ahead and save as you go. So I'm going to make sure I'm saving this. And then I'll see you guys in the next part, where we're going to be setting up the rig for our little chocolate drop character. And then I think after that, which would be probably part 3, we'll get into the texturing and stuff like that. And eventually, obviously, the animation. And yeah, there'll be probably quite a few parts we end up doing. But thank you for watching. Make sure to check out the Patreon I have in the description below. It really helps support the channel and gives me more time to make this sort of content for the community. And you guys get access to a lot of cool stuff on my Patreon as well. So definitely go ahead, check that out in the description. And thank you for watching.